Hey, good morning, everyone. So today I am going to talk about part 7, which is IPAs. So some of you may have already read this, and maybe some of you are going to be reading this today. So let's learn about the IPA chapters and what to expect. I'm going to read the first sentence in here because I think it's really good and it's going to help you understand what you're learning about. So what she says is learning to take advantage of the knowledge that you have learned, but you are going to set aside time and focus on what is profitable. And so what the best way is to reach your goals. So there are a lot of tasks that you can do that are business related, but not all of them are income producing. One of my favorite things, I'm going to say this is my favorite part. As a green, I love the task things and getting it done. So that's why I picked this one. IPAs, many people will ask and say, what is this IPA? So what that stands for is income producing activities. Why this is important, I think, especially when you are getting started. So a lot of people, when they get started, is like, oh my gosh, this sounds really fun, and let's go do these things. And you start looking at other Facebook groups, and you start looking at classes that people are doing. And it is so easy to get sidetracked for all the new shiny new things. So I say like shiny, because what that means is you get off track for what you really need to be doing. So on here, this bit, like the Young Living business is not all about just money. So let's get that straight before we start out here. But this chapter is talking about what you need to do so you don't get distracted. So what really happens on here is you need to figure out how to, like, what is your goal? When we have a goal, like your goal, because if you're probably in Propel, meaning that you are looking at doing the business and want to do the business. Your goal, like all of our goals, should be like Royal Crown Diamond, right? But you may have a short-term goal of, okay, I'm going to get to Senior Star. I'm going to get to Executive. I'm going to get to Silver. So you need to have a goal. And so on this first page, when we look at here, let's show this again. Here's the little hub. So the hub, what we talk about is enrolling, educating, and empowering. You want to pay attention to that, because if you are going to grow a team because you want to get to a next rank, that means we have to be enrolling people. What do you need to focus on? You need to focus on enrolling people. You need to focus on educating them and empowering them. So to grow, it really does come down to a couple of things. It's enrolling them and getting them on ER. So that is a focus that you want to do. So I'm going to talk about, like on the next page, when we talked about the educate and enrolling and empowering, you want to be enrolling people, because if you are not enrolling people, you are not going to be growing. I think, like I always try to say, like when people start out right off the bat, like when you're brand new, it should be fairly simple to be getting 20, 30, 40 new people enrolled, because you have your family, your mom, your sister, your best friend, your aunt, your coworkers. It should be really simple to be getting those people going. Well, here's the thing, like, and I know when we first started, no one told me what to do. And so I think like it's learning that you want to then educate them and get them onto ER. What on the second page, on page 88, as I look at my notes out here, it talks about the fortune is in the follow through. I think initially that, I sent thank you cards and thanks for coming to my class, but the bigger we got, it was kind of hard to keep up with that. We have heard about follow up. So many of you have probably maybe scheduled a class and you sent a note out to people and said, hey, are you going to come? And then no one comes. So here's what it really means in the follow through. So the words that she uses in this book are, with an end goal, a builder often remains consistent and continues to share and invite until the prospect enrolls or tells you no. So pay attention to that. What one of my tips that I tell people, and I know it's a really green thing, so bear with me on here, is when I had my first class, even though I didn't know it was a class, I didn't know what to expect, I wasn't planning to do this, I still made a spreadsheet of all the people that I wanted to invite. And I did this with she's a really good friend and a business partner of mine. So we decided, let's do a class together. So we made a list of 250 people and we're like, let's invite them. So the follow through that I think we really rocked it was, okay, so we went through and invited everyone and I started tracking. Are they coming? Yes or no? I kept inviting them until I got a yes or no, were they coming to it, which in turn led to 20 people at that class. And we kept doing that, which kept in turn leading to 20 people there. So a follow-up is really going to be, you're like, hey, I'm having a class, put it on social media and think that someone's going to come. Odds are that people are not going to come from that. You really do have to do the follow through until you get a yes or no. So then she goes on to talking about, on the next page, it's an IPA checklist. Now, you guys, I would highly suggest that you make your own IPA checklist of what you're doing. These are great ideas, but customize it for what makes sense for you and what works well for you. I'm going to highlight a couple things on here where she goes in monthly. Monthly, she says, teach a minimum. This is minimum. In my mind, this is kind of like if you are a quarter-time or part-time person, 2 in-person classes. So why do we want to do in-person classes? Because you want to get the oils on people and you want them to experience it, because when you do that, they should all sign up with you afterwards. When you are doing, and you know what, a lot of you are probably great at one-on-ones. One-on-ones are good too because it's really good. It's customized towards them, but just know you're going to go a lot slower by doing just one-on-ones unless you have 10 of them a day. Doing in-person classes, you're probably getting 5 to 10 people there, and if you do a couple of them, it's less effort and you get more people there. So you want to teach a minimum of two classes. I'm going to give you an example. When I started out, I was working a full-time job, probably 50, 60 hours a week, and had 2 kids in sports and managed to kick out about 8 to 12 classes a month. So that's how it made it really simple in my mind to get to silver in 6. I did it 6 weeks is what it was when I first started out still working. So really go at your own pace. You know what? You can take it slow, you can take it fast, do whatever you can. Just build it in and do that follow through. The other thing she talks about is participating in team meetings. So you guys are here doing Propel. That's like participating in a team meeting. That's awesome. Great job for being here. If you're I'm sure your platinums have meetings and your team leaders have them, participate in as many of those that you can that make sense in your day, or listen to the videos, because what's going to happen is you are going to learn from other people. I tell you, these platinum girls that we are all working together has been the biggest growing experience for me, because we all bring things to the table and we all do things differently and we can all learn from each other. So participate in your team meetings. Weekly, looking at essential rewards and transfer buying, you really want to be encouraging people to be getting on essential rewards. A lot of people will talk about I can't afford it, or I can't do this. Educate them on it's not about not affording it, because they're going and buying it somewhere else. So you want to be doing posts not necessarily about you, something that, it is about you, but you want what is going to resonate with your audience. What is going to make them want to read your post or look at your graphic, and what is going to make them all of a sudden get that aha moment of, oh, maybe my stuff is toxic at the store and I can get something here. She talks about daily, talking to 3 non-members every day. Figure out a way that you can talk to people. I think the easiest thing for me is I tend to put an oil on if I'm in line somewhere, or before I go in to meet people, I will plop my oil on or roll on whatever I'm using so people can smell me, and it automatically will lead to a conversation of, oh my gosh, you smell so good, what is it? And then I can pull out a flyer and say it's essential oils. Would you like to learn about them? So you need to get them on so you can talk to people, because when you're talking to people, that is how you're going to get them engaged to be on your team. The other thing is following through with members from 2 and 3 months ago. You want to be checking in with people that you just enrolled. That is so important. And I think everyone, we all probably hear, oh, it's so important. The fortune is in the follow through. It really is true. And I don't think I really learned that until the last year, how important it is those first 3 months that someone signs up. She also talks about sending samples or care packages. I think those are great. If someone is not on Essential Rewards, that is an income producing activity. It could be just a booklet. Maybe your team has a booklet, or you buy, a cute booklet that you send out to them. I have found when people aren't on Essential Rewards that about every 3 weeks I send something in the mail, and I am finding the return on it is that they are generally getting on Essential Rewards within the 3-month period. So that's exciting. She goes on to say like some dates to consider. So she lists certain dates out. You guys totally can make your own dates and do what you want to do on them. But like day 1, talking about the promos that Young Living came out with. I think I've learned that that is so important to do because you want people to know how to use these products. These are great. We're getting new ones to try, but if you can explain to people why they want to get those, that's an important thing to do. I think like she talks about reaching out to members. We kind of just talked about that. Missing Essential Rewards. Anyone that has missed Essential Rewards, I know on the next page she talks about like, okay, you want to follow up with people that missed your Essential Rewards. Well, one, you can just, if you have oily tools, I think that's the easiest way to look at it is when you just click on the little, the link for that and you can see everyone that's missed. You do not want to wait till the last week of the month to do this. I really think that it's important to be looking every single day and following up with people every single day for ones that they have missed, because a lot of times maybe someone is on vacation or they are out of town. Most people take about 3 to 4 days before they actually get that done. You want to stay on top of that because that is an income producing activity and that generates volume for you. So you do want to stay on top of that one. Reaching out to members. Okay, let's go through. New member check-ins. I want to talk about this one. She gives examples of saying like week 1 through 4 of things that you can call and check in with people, or you can text them, or you could set up a time that says, hey, can we meet with you? Here's something that I want you guys to remember if you have not heard this already. If someone signs up for a starter kit and they don't go on Essential Rewards, 80% of those people are going to fall off in 1 year. 80%. That is a big number. That is over half. 80% of all those people that you or your team members have enrolled are going to fall off if they do not go on Essential Rewards. So do you see why it's such a big deal to be following up with these people and teaching your team members to follow up with them? One thing that I like to do is set up a time after they got their account and say, hey, you know what, let's check in next week. I just want to make sure that you got it and I want to make sure you know how to do it. I'll generally check in and I will say, did you get your kit? That's simple, right? That's not scary. Check in. Did you get your kit? So you want to follow up and say, did you get your kit? Okay, have you pulled your diffuser out? I can't tell you how many times people like, oh, I haven't taken it out yet. Wasn't that like the first thing you were excited to do is pull out your diffuser and start using it? So maybe, and I've realized sometimes I forgot to tell people, oh, you just put your water in and put the oils in. Give them an idea of what to start with. Maybe it's like, I always say like, put your diffuser on and put lavender in when you go to sleep at night. That's simple. You can say, what has been your favorite one that you've tried so far? Is there one that you don't know how to use? That is an easy opening of what to do with it. So then when you continue to follow up, you could say, hey, is there something that you're interested in? Have you looked through the catalog? Maybe I have something on hand and I can send you a sample of it. Your goal, you need to really invest in them. Yes, like Maylee is saying out there, is like you want to invest the people in the, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. You want to invest in the people in your team, because I promise you, if you invest in them and they get on Essential Rewards and they get products that they want to be using, you are going to have them as a member, probably for life. But if you don't do anything, they are going to fall off. One of the tips that I learned from, I can't remember, it was like a diamond or someone suggested this, is go through your you go to your downline viewer and then run the report of new members. So look at new members last month. Look at all your new members. Here's what I want you to do is you can sort it. So it will sort from like highest to lowest. Your goal, yes, your goal is to get new members signed up, but you do not want to see 100, 100, 100. Here's why. If you're only seeing 100s happening, those are just, you have to look at those as all of those people are going to completely fall off if you are not following up with them and if you are not getting them on Essential Rewards. One of the things I've learned where someone said is when you look at it, you do not want to see 100. Like your goal would be like you see 190 or 300, because that means that you or one of your leaders has been teaching the lifestyle. That thing has been really helpful for me, is the lifestyle because it is the lifestyle that we are trying to teach, because that is what people are going to use going forward. So think about that in your new member check-in. That is an important thing to be following up with them. If you don't think that someone is following up with them, you are the leader then, and you need to follow up with those people. Okay, so then it gets into, let me just look here. It goes into the end of the month hustle, which I think that it's important that you don't do this at the end of the month. Something that I was meeting with one of our Royal Crown Diamonds recently, and they said that if people called them the last week of the month because, oh, someone's ER didn't go through and they needed help, they won't help them. And I think that that is brilliant, because here's why. It is up to us to be following up with this every single day. If this is our job or our part-time job, this is one of our IPA activities. So you want to be looking at the unprocessed ER orders, because that is volume. You want to do that. Many times someone's credit card, they've been issued a new credit card, and it is that simple. So just follow up with them on that. You want to look at money missers. That means that someone enrolled someone and they didn't place a 50 PV order, so now they're going to miss out. This thing to me, here's what's interesting is I had a full-time career. I managed 17 billion in assets. I had 6 departments that I did. I didn't need a new job. But you know what? I got a $50 check and I had no idea why I got that. And I pulled out the policy and procedures, which I'm sure all of you have done, right? Probably not, probably just these greens. Read the whole thing and I'm like, wow. Okay, so when my friend got her account, they sent me $50. I do this now full time. And so this is so such a big deal to me, and it so resonates with me, because our goal is to get people to get that one $50 check. Don't let them miss out on this, because you never know. One of those people may be your next business builder. You can look at, if you've been around for a while, you may have people that are about to go inactive. You could always find that if you go to your dashboard, and then it's going to show you on the right hand side the people are about to go inactive. It's important to reach out to them. I know I will send an email once a month, and then we also follow up with them and have my team leaders follow up with people too. These are those people where 80% of them are falling off if they are not on Essential Rewards. And I find that it is more beneficial for the people that enrolled them to contact them, because that's who they have their relationship with. They have a calendar on here where you can do IPAs. You could also do make your own. If you're a spreadsheet person, I kind of have a make my own. Do what makes sense to you. But here's in the IPA. So let's get back on track with that. You need to be doing things that are income producing, because while it is great to listen to a video, it is great to listen to a book, it is good to go to a Zoom call on something, those are not IPAs. Those are simply you getting personal development, and that is good. We had a chapter about this, but this is talking right now about income producing. Listening to a book or a CD every single day, while it's good and makes you feel good, is not going to help you grow your team. What is going to grow your team? That you are enrolling someone, you are talking to people every single day, you are doing a care call with someone. You need to place a bigger emphasis on what is going to help you get that bigger commission check. So I think the main, if you really want to think about it, enroll someone, educate them, get them on ER. Those should probably be your main activities that you are doing, because we could all read a book all day long. We could all lay in bed and watch videos. That didn't grow our team. That didn't help us get a bigger paycheck. So it's going out and it's talking to people, whatever works for you. Maybe it's just simply getting stuff mailed. Send them a postcard. And it's all going to come at different points. I used to send a postcard. Now that I'm a little higher rank, I probably send a booklet. You maybe are taking, even if you take diffuser recipes, here's a little tip. Okay, see these, well, I just had it on my desk, so I'm just showing you. It's a 4x4 little card. And if you go to Shutterfly and you do it off your phone, you can do 4x4 or 4x6 prints for free. You just pay for the shipping. Order a bunch of diffuser recipes and send them out to people. Put it on a 4x6 or put it in a card and say, hey, I was thinking about you, and send a diffuser recipe. Because you know what that does? That helps people order those oils to put in the diffuser, which helps your volume. So you really want to be thinking about these income producing activities. Do what makes sense for you and what feels on your heart to do. But You need to be doing these things that are going to help get you your paycheck, because that is really what's important to do. So I'm looking on the very back pages here too. She gives you some examples and wording that you can use, whether you're texting or whether you're emailing. I find that texting is probably a little more valuable because 10% of people read our emails. It's hard, and you know what, we're not going to please everyone because not everyone will answer the phone, not everyone is going to look at the text, not everyone is going to go to Facebook, but it's that communication. And the email is probably one of the least ones that people are looking at. Texting seems to be the way that people are looking right now. I know younger generations don't typically pick the phone up. Whatever works for you, do what works for you. So I think the main thing on here is like, here's a bunch of samples that you can do, and that's going to help you if you don't know what else to do, that you can use these. So to go back to income producing activities, how am I going to sum that up is you want to enroll people, you want to educate them, and you want to get them on Essential Rewards. That is your main thing. And whatever is going to help you do that main goal, that is what you want to do. You do not want to get, like where it says on here, you don't want to just look at do the follow-up, because that's easy to get discouraged when people don't show up. If your goal is to grow, then your goal is to add people to your team. Even if you do little simple things, hey, I'm going to get 25 people on my team. I'm going to get 50 people. Do little fun things for yourself. Go buy a new oil when you get 25 people on your team. I always like to tell people, shoot for 100 people. Get 100 people on your team, because that is a good goal and you're getting a lot closer to silver at that point. So IPAs, enjoy reading the IPAs, but here's what your ultimate goal is you want to do income producing activities, because if you are not growing your team, and it is not getting bigger. They're fun to do. I like the little checklists. You can talk to your team leaders or your platinum leaders on what to do it, but I'll give you an idea of what I have on mine is 80% of the time really should be spent on like making care calls where you actually are talking to them. This isn't just sending a text saying, hey, I hope you have a good day. It's getting on the phone with them. You want to do a one-on-one presentation to someone, sending a welcome package, and then having a in-home class with at least 2 to 3 people. So I feel that 80% of my day should be spent there, because it is so simple to get sidetracked with everything else. I think until you are silver, in my opinion, that is where all your time should be. Once you get to kind of silver and above, you do end up coaching other people and doing that. Then there's things like working with your group. That would be like doing a business presentation or a one-on-one coaching with your upline, or coming to a group training call. That's working with your group. Personal development, that's like maybe 30 minutes of reading a book or video training. Those are good, but those should be probably done when you are in the car driving or something where you can't do something else, because that's not going to grow. It's good for you because everyone needs personal development. And then you want to look at building your team. So that means that you want to be enrolling someone. You want to help someone move to the next rank. You want to help a member get on Essential Rewards, help someone up their order to get a promo item, help someone that missed their ER to get that put through, and then help someone that maybe hasn't ordered in 3 months. That is kind of what I have on my short list that I think our team has been using. It's been really helpful because those are what the important things are. Create something that makes sense for you, that you will work on, but remember 80% of your time should really be getting people enrolled. So hopefully that helps. Enjoy the chapter, and looking forward to seeing everyone on Thursday. Have a great day.